Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for May 6th. We are looking at the U.S. Japanese yen pair. This particular pair moved lower. If you got the video from yesterday, we were looking to go short here. Pretty much went down and tagged our line here for about a 50 pip move between those two. We are looking though for this pair to continue moving sideways, and the bias is sideways currently. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 99.81, possibly as low as 97.17. Look for some resistance around 99.00 and look for some support around the 97.93 level. Now, switching to the US Swiss, this particular pair closed up, but just barely, forming a doji bar. Very long or very wide range for today. It did form a swing trade setup. If you take a look there, looking to go short on that. Not exactly sure as far as exits. I don't feel comfortable with a lot of the support levels. There's just too many of them, too close to our entry. I think you'd probably get into that particular trade for about 20 pips, and then it would turn back around on you. So definitely keep an eye on that if you want to watch it. And if it does that, you could buy in at that point as it retraces and use the actual trend line as your stop loss. Just put a stop loss a little bit below it, looking for it to go the other way. We are looking though for this pair to potentially move as high as 134.86 and possibly as low as 131.33. Look for some resistance around 133.73 and look for some support around 132.67. Now, switching to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair continues to move higher, although it did close up today, but it did form an inside bar. So even though it closed up today, we did not make a new high. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on this session's bar. I anticipate it breaking up through to the upside, but definitely need to keep an eye on it. Let's back out a little bit, see if we can see any previous resistance going into this. So we could, that's around the 51.64 level, and you're going to hit some resistance around, first resistance around the 1.5217. So there's a little bit of movement there, a little over 50 pips worth of movement if you choose to take a breakout trade to the upside. However, I'm not convinced that it's going to do that just yet, but it definitely has that possibility. We are looking for it as on the very high side to go as high as 152.82 and on the lower side 148.40. Look for some resistance around 151.63 and look for some support around 150.90 in this particular pair. Switching to the US Swiss, this particular pair closed down today after moving much higher. We are looking for it to go potentially as high as 114.79, possibly as low as 111.92. Look for some resistance around 113.62 and look for some support at 112.67. Now, as far as what I'm looking at, I just mentioned, the pound having a potential breakout and due to the inside bar, and we looked at the other pair earlier, the euro, as far as its let me get to it here, as far as the swing trade. Remember, both of these pairs have interest rate announcements tomorrow. The pound is releasing their rate decision at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Consensus is they're going to hold at 0.50%. The euro is releasing their rate decision at 7:45 a.m. Eastern time. Consensus is they're going to drop by a quarter from 1.25% down to 1%. We also have the The U.S. has their chairman Bernanke speaking on financial regulations in Chicago at 9:30 a.m. and the Reserve Bank has their quarterly monetary policy meeting or statement rather at 9:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So there's some news announcements. Definitely, if you have a counter trend strategy, this is a great time to drop down to the hour time frame and use your counter trend strategy right up until the pound releases their rate decision. The market's pretty much just going to move sideways, and it's a great time. You could, probably pretty easily, if your counter trend system's good, pull somewhere between 50 and 100 pips out of the market between now and then. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.